What's happening, y'all, and welcome. This is episode 170 of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow, the number one Arrowverse podcast on Pornhub. I am your host, the self-knighted Sir Cussalott Travis Pointer, aka the Dragon King, aka Big T, aka T Money, aka Sweet T, aka Black Merlin, aka the HNIC. And I'm joined as always by my co-host Mara the Shark Watkins.
Hello.
How you doing tonight, Mara?
I am breathing. I'm good.
Breathing is good. Breathing is good because if you stop breathing, like I'd have to find a new co-host, and that's just a whole lot of work. Like,
Damn.
I mean, like I'm pretty sure Luna will be willing, but like
her description of the show versus how you would want the show to go.
Right.
Wouldn't line up together.
Right. Like, I don't even think she'd take notes. Like, it's just, it's just.
She would just summarize everything up in a matter of sound effects.
Yeah.
But now that she's a little bit older, she can actually kind of tell you what she's watching because she did watch this episode with me.
So she watched them save the world with the power of love again.
Yeah. Didn't understand like what was going on, but she could tell you like that she could give you the gist of like, that's not the real Flash. She was like, what's going on?
Like, that's not the guy that's supposed to be wearing the red suit. But okay. So let's talk about this episode because the Flash is the only thing that happened this week. So we'll do that. What's the name of this week's episode of The Flash?
Armageddon Part 4.
Yeah. Part 4. There's one more part. Happens next week. But this episode kicks off in 2031. Barry has just run to the future and sees that Eobard Thawne is marrying Iris because, he changed shit. We got Ryan talking to Iris about having a baby with Sophie. So clearly Sophie and Ryan becomes a thing eventually. So Barry shows up to like
stays a thing for like 10 years.
Yeah. Like permanently becomes a thing, is when they get married and like, yo, we about to have a baby now. And yeah. But so we got Barry's there and he's just like, yo, what the hell is happening here? And everybody else is like, yo, what the fuck are you doing here? Because apparently in this reality, Barry is the Reverse Flash and Thawne is the Flash. And they think Barry killed Joe.
I was when they said murder, I was like, who did he kill?
Joe West. So yeah. So everybody's ready to fight Barry now, and they are just straight up whooping his ass because he's not fighting back because
they got the smoke for him.
Yeah, there was his people, so he's not trying to fight back. Plus, that we find out later on, he really only has like 5% of his speed left.
Yeah, he's not really working with a lot.
Yeah, and apparently he also killed Ray, Nate, Sarah, and Cisco. So yeah,
I was like, that doesn't seem true.
That's not very Barry-like of him. So yeah, then Barry runs away, grabs Iris, and runs off with her to their loft. And they have a little talk in there about how you're my lightning rod and all that kind of shit. She's like, yo, what the fuck, nigga? Like,
yeah, he's trying to talk some sense into her. She's like, wait, you are fucking my head up right now. When did you learn that say?
Yeah. So then there's a thing, Thawne face to face with Barry. Basically, he created what he called a reverse flashpoint. So, like, there was a flashpoint, and now there's a reverse flashpoint because reverse flash. So he went back to 2013 and got himself struck by the lightning instead of Barry. Turns out he was one that attacked the city. He just made himself look like Barry when he did it. He also killed Barry as a child, so the timeline is going to solidify as no Barry at midnight. Not sure where he got that timeline from, but we're going to go with that.
Yeah. I was like, that just felt like an extra sprinkle on top. Like that felt like some razzle dazzle thrown on top. They were just like, I went back to 2013 and took your life. And then I went back and killed you as a kid. Just with enough time for you to come back here and find out that I've done this.
Yeah, there was a whole lot of like time travel shit happening here where it's just like
there's a lot of things that should be fucking up right now and changing.
Yeah, but they didn't. But anytime they fuck with time, they can just do whatever the fuck they want, and there's no consequences because why would there be? But yeah, so Barry goes to Damien Dark because apparently they're a duo at this point.
They're friends.
Yeah, so he's like Damien Dark he's on the loose. He's been released. Barry goes to him for help. Apparently, there's a device that Barry can use in conjunction with the time stone that Damien Dark has, and they can undo. Yeah, and they can undo the reverse flashpoint. Let's see, we got apparently Allegra and Chester had a one-night stand after a D&D session, and I'm just like,
Alex playing a lot of like, I don't want to say devil's advocate, but just like going back and forth about their relationship. I was just like, Alex, why are you all up in their business?
Yeah, she was watching. They was making eyes at each other and shit. So yeah. But apparently Allegra tells Alex that like, yo, we did a thing, and I woke up in the morning and he was gone, but she didn't tell her the whole story. Like she left a very important part out of that story, which was that he went to get coffee and like breakfast shit, and she saw him do this and ran anyway.
She was just like, oh no, I'm scared.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Barry and Damien Dark go get the thing from Star Labs. They whoop a bunch of ass, and Dark wants to kill the whole team before they go, but Barry stops him. And Dark is like, "You are clearly not the
you're not the real Reverse Flash.
Yeah, you're not the Barry Allen I know." So he's ready to fight. He does a force choke shit and like, "Who the fuck are you?" And he basically tells him the truth, also tells him that his daughter is alive in his timeline, in the real timeline. So you got to help me. We can save your daughter's life. You'll be dead, but your daughter.
He convinces Damien Dark to help with the power of love.
Yeah. So that does it. Ryan is going back to Gotham. She has a talk with Iris, telling her like, yo, you got to follow your heart like you told me to do. Because, Barry and Iris fix every problem in the Flash show with the power of love.
I don't know if I want to love that strong.
Yeah. So she
that
also
shit sounds scary.
The little gun thing that could incapacitate the speedsters with Iris, because Iris is having trouble with her vows, so that's why they have that talk. Also, Ryan and Sophie are going to adopt a child, which kind of saw that coming, but okay. Let's see. This is when we find out that Allegra lied about what happened with Chester.
Damien do like math, and Barry's like, I need to hit Mach 20 in like 2 minutes, but that also risks destroying the world.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't know if I'm fast enough. And Damien has to remind him that he's the paragon of love. So his speed is not all it is. And I'm just like, I think it really is a lot of the speed.
Yeah. And he was like, it takes, I wasn't sure if he said 40,000 miles or 40,000 kilometers, because that means two very different things in this situation. Because if it's 40,000 miles, that means he would have had to wrap around the earth at least once, which means he would have had to pass that point where Damien is. And we never saw that happen. Now, if it's kilometers, it's right before he hits that, where he hits 40,000 kilometers, in which case we would have still seen them come up on that point. So it's just.
We'll go with kilometers, but they're not going to show you.
Yeah. Because it's just like, you didn't think this through, because he definitely should have come back to the point of origin, if that's the case. But whatever. He had to reach Mach 20. He ends up reaching Mach 20, of course, because, the power of love.
Barry's always manages to become fast enough when he just needs to be fast enough.
What's Asian dude's name?
I don't know. And
I
I've been
remember him
trying to
from I
figure.
remember him from Crisis, and I know he was one of the Paragons, but I just don't remember who the fuck he is or what his name is, and I didn't care enough to
Yeah.
look him up. So
Okay. I couldn't even remember him from Crisis. I was just like, when the fuck did you get here?
yeah, he was the last Paragon from the Crisis that didn't have any superpowers and shit. He was just a real smart dude. But
Right. Okay. Because I always remember that actor from Supernatural. And I was just like, how did you get here? I'm so confused.
mhm.
That makes sense now.
But yeah, so before Barry goes to do the Mach 20 thing, he goes to see Iris because he needs a boost of love. Thawne shows up though.
Again.
And Thawne is like telling Iris to shoot Barry, but Iris shoots Thawne instead. And she was like, go before I change my mind. And like you said, Barry got 2 minutes to hit Mach 20 or it won't work. He's running. Thawne is chasing him. We got the ice duo of
Chauvelin and Killer Frost.
yeah, them. They fighting against Dark. Apparently Constantine gave them a protection spell because convenience. Then we got Chester and Allegra because they're about to die, saying "I love you" because Barry's about to call his Armageddon again.
Caitlyn's face was just like, huh? When did this happen?
Yeah. So thanks to the power of love, Barry succeeds. Then we look back at the present, and Despero is interrogating Cecile. Basically, he's killed the entire crew because he wants to know where Barry is. She's like, yo, nigga, I don't know. Like, he ran away, and I don't know where the fuck he went.
He left us here. So why do you think we know?
Yeah. So then Barry returns.
Erasing that timeline.
Yeah, all the fucked up stuff fixes itself. Despero returns to the future. He's like, I'll be back if it's still wrong. And apparently everything is fixed. Barry talks to Joe, got tears in his eyes and shit, because everybody else is just like, yo, we just went and got burgers, bro. Like, why are you tripping right now?
Like, yeah, like, what is your problem? Relax.
But then we got Thawne in the time chamber because he's about to do some more Thawne shit because he is clearly not done.
Yeah, he was just like, I'm not over.
Yeah. But yeah, that was Armageddon Part 4 of The Flash.
Part 5 is next week.
Yeah. Who's winning, Mara?
Barry?
It's a solid answer. I was going to go with Joe because he went from being dead to not being dead.
There is that.
Who's losing?
I guess right now Thawne is technically losing.
Interesting. Yeah. I was going to go with Damien Dark because he went from being alive to being dead.
Mm.
Well, that's my thoughts on the matter. But yeah. I think that'll be it for this week's episode of Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow because we just had the Flash this week. So yeah.
Yeah, I kind of just assumed that the rest of them aren't coming back, I guess, till January.
Yeah, so everything comes back next month.
Cool.
I don't remember the exact dates, but we'll see. And we'll be back next month because we're going on hiatus until next year. So
yes. So guys, you'll have to enjoy the finale of Armageddon without us.
Unfortunately. But
we'll still be watching in spirit though. We just won't have a show. So send us memes and stuff. And we'll banter that way. You can send us memes in our Facebook group that's related to the show. Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow. Well, facebook.com/groups/Super Flashy Arrow of Tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, don't forget to follow us on both Twitter and Instagram at The Creation World. That is at TheCreatia World. There's also our Facebook, facebook.com/Creation World. And Mara mentioned the Facebook group. You can follow me on both Twitter and Instagram at Sir_Cussalott. That is at SIR_CUSSALOTT. Mara, where can they find you?
On Instagram and Twitter at Mara the Shark. That's MARADASHARK.
All right. I think that's it. Is that it? Is that everything?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. We'll catch y'all next time. Until then, we out.
We'll see y'all in 2022, y'all.
Peace.